First at noon, Honolulu's prosecutor says no charges will be filed against the HPD officer who fatally shot an armed suspect in Waianae Valley last year. On August 14, 2024, officers were called to a home on Puhinalo Place just after 6 p.m. Officials say the suspect, Alston Kaipo Awang, got into a physical argument with his girlfriend in the street before she fled to a relative's home. They say Awang then went to his home and came out with a rifle and handgun and fired multiple rounds at the home his girlfriend was at. Officers repeatedly ordered Awang to drop his weapon, but he refused.
They're yelling at him repeatedly to drop the handgun. He's ignoring them and proceeding to rack the handgun. Apparently it got jammed after he shot repeatedly into the house. So he's trying to clear the jam. But as he's turning toward him, Officer 1 shoots him in the chest.
Awang was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 people who were shot were taken to the hospital, and another woman who was assaulted declined transport. Based on court records, Awang had 14 criminal convictions, including 11 felonies. HPD says it was also determined that his handgun was stolen and the rifle appeared to be self-made. Chinatown acid attack suspect Marquise Johnson is now charged with first-degree assault. Police identified the 34-year-old after he was caught on surveillance cameras moments after he allegedly threw acid on a 30-year-old chef on August 8th. The victim is said to be in stable condition. Johnson's bail is set at $500,000. The man accused of murdering a Maui police officer last Friday had been removed from his home just 2 days earlier. Police served Clembert Kaneholani with a temporary restraining order Wednesday after his girlfriend filed a complaint saying that she and her 6 children had to escape because of his violence and that he showed up at a safe house 2 times looking for her and that he carries a gun.
Those are not walk-in locations. We do have camera systems and all of these things in place. We have the police department on standby to be able to respond. We'll see people before they notice where we are.
Kaneholani is charged with murder for the shooting death of Maui police officer Suzanne O at the Paia sugar mill. He remains in custody. A Hilo judge has extended a protective order requiring UFC Hall of Famer BJ Penn to have no contact with his mother and stay at least 100 yards away from her until May. His 79-year-old mother filed for the order 3 months ago after he allegedly assaulted her. Penn claims his real mom and other family members have been replaced by imposters. On Oahu, a 14-year-old boy has died after he was hit while riding a dirt bike in the Eva Gentry area this morning. It happened just before 7:45 in the area of Fort Weaver Road and Kolowaka Drive. We're told EMS crews needed to give the boy advanced life support before bringing him to the hospital where he passed away. This was Oahu's 54th traffic fatality compared to 26 at the same time last year. A big relief for Kunia residents who are back in their homes after a large brush fire forced over 400 of them to evacuate yesterday. HFD says the blaze burned 600 acres after it started around noon Tuesday. At one point, flames threatened homes in the historic plantation housing community of Kunia Camp and the Kunia Head Start School. The firefight was a joint effort with HFD units being joined by federal firefighters and Department of Transportation crews. HFD says this is the 7th wildfire in the same area in a little over a week. Residents are growing frustrated.
How come they're holding us guys back when the fire not even in our property yet, not the whole Kunia property? They're supposed to let us go and maintain our animals up there.
They should let us up because I have dogs at home that need water, and they're not letting anybody in through. I don't know what's going on.
Thankfully, no one was injured due to this fire, and no structures have been damaged. Meanwhile, on Molokai, a brush fire that briefly forced evacuations in Ho'olehua is now contained. Flames sparked around 5 p.m. on Tuesday near homes on Pu'upe'elua Avenue. Crews were able to get the upper hand on the fire in about an hour. No damages or injuries were reported. That 75-foot vessel that ran aground at Kihei Basin during that big south swell nearly 2 weeks ago is finally off the reef. Our camera was there during high tide yesterday as the Atlantis Adventure shuttle was pulled from the seawall into the harbor. Crews will now patch it up to make sure the boat is strong enough to be towed to the Kihei Marine Center, where it will be dry docked for repairs.
It required a lot of strong communication between us and our partner government agencies. DLNR was a great asset working with, and we had a great information exchange as we worked through reviewing the salvage plan and ensuring the operation was a success. And now we're working with the DLNR's Division of Aquatic Resources to assess the damage to the coral reef and rock, as well as make sure that the vessel can safely transit to dry dock and begin repairs.
State officials surveyed the reef to come up with a route that would cause the least damage to live corals. Now that the boat is gone, they plan to go back and assess the damage. Maui police are looking for a burglar who pulled off a smash and grab heist at a jewelry store in Kihei. Surveillance video shows the break-in at Island Treasures in Kalama Village at around 1 a.m. on Monday. The crook used a crowbar to bust the door and took off with 14-karat gold bangles, rings, earrings, and $1,500 from the register. The owner tells us she just opened the store 10 months ago after her longtime shop in Lahaina burned in the 2023 wildfire.
Everyone on this island is just trying to make it day and day, still trying to recover from fire, the fire in Lahaina. So please, stop stealing from, we're all family here.
Marisol Romelb says police arrived minutes after the break-in and the thief dropped some of the jewelry as he ran away. Call MPD with any tips. The owners of a famous golf course in West Maui, along with farmers and homeowners, are suing the Maui Land and Pineapple Company over its water management. Daryl Huff has both sides.
This is what you expect to see when you pay big bucks to play or watch golf at the Kapalua Plantation course. But right now, it's dry as a bone. It's put the Century Golf Tournament in January in jeopardy. And the course owner says the problem is not just drought.
We have the experts on the grounds, but we can't manage water. We can't manage golf course without any water.
The dramatic Kapalua Plantation and Bay courses depend on water from an old plantation diversion ditch system in Honolulu Valley. The system was built for pineapple and still owned by Maui Land and Pineapple Company, and it's now not diverting enough water from the streams.
Every minute it's going brown. And when under the drought condition,
the water from the ditch is distributed by Hawaii Water Service, which has issued alerts like this one, essentially banning use of non-potable water for irrigation, blaming drought conditions and the need to save water for firefighting.
It really is just in like the last 6 months or so that there's been restrictions, off and on restrictions to full out, please don't use anymore.
Gary Gruby is the founder of Hui Momona Farms, a big player in Lahaina fire relief, who's trying to provide new trees and sodgrass for Lahaina homes and fresh vegetables for a popular free meals program.
It's heartbreaking and disturbing.
In their lawsuit, Hui Momona, the golf course owners, and several community associations are blaming Maui Land and Pine for the shortage, saying that they have failed to properly maintain the ditch system. The State Commission on Water Resource Management has documented a number of damaged or deteriorating features, some broken by floods in 2018.
Really, we're just saying that Maui Land and Pine should be doing a better job. That's what it is.
Maui Land and Pine responded that the lawsuit is a continuation of their efforts to compel the use of water for irrigation during this time when West Maui is experiencing a historic drought. Having tried and failed to get the regulatory agencies to force this irresponsible water use, the golf courses unfortunately turned to the courts. The golf courses say they've spent millions to conserve.
And only applying water to where it's needed.
Although it has admitted that keeping up the ditch system has been a challenge, Maui Land also points out that its priorities by law are traditional farmers and the county drinking water system. The lawsuit from the golf courses, subdivisions, and the farm is for breach of contract because Maui Land sold them the properties with agreements that said they would be guaranteed sufficient water. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Aloha on this Wednesday. It's going to be another beautiful trade wind weather day. We got lots of sunshine on tap, high temperature running to about 89 degrees. Rain's limited, just a few showers this morning. Look for a boost in windward showers maybe later tonight through tomorrow morning. Still, rainfall totals will be light. And heads up, we still have that coastal flood statement. We could get some afternoon flooding because of those high tides. And as far as the surf, look for an evening rise for south and west shores.
Thank you, Guy. Families who lost their children in the Camp Mystic tragedy in Central Texas last month are speaking out. They delivered emotional testimony during a hearing about flood preparedness and what went wrong. Christiane Benavides reports.
I am haunted by the events that took place on July 4th.
An emotional hearing at the Texas State Senate.
Our daughter, one of our two children that made up our whole world, died.
One after another, parents who lost children during the tragedy in Camp Mystic last month, when deadly flooding swept away entire communities, recounted their stories.
The picture you're seeing was my last living memory of my daughter.
The camp of my dreams turned into a living nightmare. Our daughter was at camp. She was not protected. She was not safe.
Wednesday's hearing marked the first time the families appeared publicly before the legislature since the disaster.
How could these girls vanish into the night without anyone having eyes on them? While cabins, literally just 20 yards away, had no casualties.
The body of Cece Stewart's 8-year-old daughter, Seal, still has not been found.
My daughter was stolen from us. Seal's life ended not because of an unavoidable act of nature, but because of preventable failures.
Texas lawmakers are now considering a number of reforms, like tougher permit requirements, a better emergency notification and alert system, along with more training and emergency drills at campsites.
We can't fix what's happened, but we can darn sure prevent what's going forward the best we can.
The families say they're committed to turning their pain into meaningful and urgent change for all kids, on behalf of their angels, who they now refer to as Heavens 27. Christiane Benavides, CBS News.
Texas Republicans move forward with controversial redistricting plans pushed by President Trump. I'm Erica Brown with more on those plans and the backlash to the new map.
Also ahead on This Is Now, the University of Hawaii signs a 5-year partnership with the agency that identifies missing U.S. service members. Details in 2 minutes. Republican-controlled Texas House is set to pass a new redistricting map today that would most likely result in the GOP gaining 5 additional seats in Congress. The controversial move has sparked redistricting plans in other states across the country. Erica Brown has the latest from Capitol Hill.
A quorum is present.
After a delay of more than 2 weeks, a special session of the Texas State Legislature got underway Wednesday to vote on a redistricting map designed to give Republicans 5 more seats in Congress.
The underlying goal of this plan is straightforward: improve Republican political performance.
Democratic lawmakers now back in Texas after fleeing the state to block the measure tried to further delay the vote with parliamentary questions and amendments.
House Bill 4 is an illegal and racially discriminatory congressional map.
Opponents of the bill protested at the state capitol, where some Democrats stayed overnight rather than sign what they're calling a permission slip imposed by the GOP, requiring them to have an around-the-clock police escort.
Because if they can do it to us, they can do it to anybody.
President Trump pushed for the new congressional map in a bid to retain Republican control of the House in the midterm elections, but the move has sparked countermeasures from Democrat-controlled states. In California, Democratic lawmakers are moving ahead with new congressional maps of their own.
This constitutional amendment, along with the 2 companion bills, are a measured and thoughtful response to the power grab that is happening out of Washington, D.C.
Their excuse? Texas is doing it. That's not leadership. It's abandoning our principles.
But Republicans in California are vowing to challenge the redistricting plans in court, as are the Democrats in Texas. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Here at home, there's a new 5-year partnership agreement between UH and the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency. UH students and staff will assist in the agency's mission to find, recover, and identify missing U.S. service members. Meanwhile, the forensic experts will utilize the university's academic resources.
I can't imagine doing work that's more important than recovering and identifying our missing servicemen and women. And so the opportunity to combine science and education and the laboratories and the talent, it's just a wonderful ecosystem for us to do a public service that also advances the university.
The identification of Americans missing from past wars first came to Hawaii in 1976. Since then, it has become, our laboratory has become the preeminent forensic laboratory in the world. And so with this partnership, we have access to the University of Hawaii system.
The partnership aims to bring more closure to the families of missing servicemen. We'll be right back.
weather with Guy Hug.
Aloha on this Wednesday. We're in for another beautiful trade and weather day. Going to be quite comfortable. Rain-wise, the rain's pretty limited. Just a few minor splashes for a handful of windward spots this morning. Most leeward sides will remain mostly dry. And we are likely to see a slight boost in these windward showers overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. Still not going to be a lot of rain. Plus, with those winds blowing brisk and breezy from Maui to Kihei, that really limits the rainfall totals because the rain's moving out as quickly as it moves in. So a flooding definitely not an issue, and they got lighter winds expected for the corner side of Hawaii Island. So we're in for a beautiful Wednesday today. Standard trade and weather day. The weather's basically on cruise control because what we see today is what we'll likely see every day through the weekend. Breezy winds, a few showers in the morning and in the overnight hours with lots of afternoon sunshine. High temperatures near 90 degrees almost every day. Now, the surf's on the upswing this afternoon through tonight on the south and west shores. Not a big pulse, but that's going to keep the fun going. And also, heads up, box jellyfish likely swimming in for one more day at some south and southwest shores. So check with lifeguards just to be safe. East shore is still choppy at 2 to 4. So we've got a long run of trade wind weather. Really no big changes, although, like I said, in the overnight hours tonight and tomorrow morning, we'll likely see a boost in windward showers. Still, that's not going to be a lot of rain. We've got lots of sunshine on tap with those breezy winds holding firm until Monday, when they kind of slow down for just a little bit because they'll come back bouncing up to speed on Tuesday.
Thank you, Guy. Hurricane Erin is barreling up the East Coast, a massive storm disrupting beach vacations from Florida through New England. Rob Marciano reports from the Outer Banks.
Dangerous waves are slamming the North Carolina coast, where lifeguards have already rescued dozens of people from rip currents. The governor warned residents to stay out of the ocean.
I want to emphasize the importance of taking this storm seriously because it's a serious storm, and conditions can deteriorate quickly.
Hurricane Erin is moving up the East Coast hundreds of miles offshore, but in the Outer Banks, they're preparing as if it were going to make a direct hit. Mandatory evacuations are underway, and heavy equipment is helping to shore up the dunes.
The waves are going to be huge that come in. They're going to create a lot of overwash. It doesn't matter whether it hits us or doesn't. If you get that volume of water, it's a problem.
Beyond that front loader or wheel loader, you can see those homes. They're on the brink as well. So those homeowners, along with hundreds of others here, have evacuated.
Not Tom Newsom. He's lived in the Outer Banks nearly 40 years and says he's never evacuated.
It's a little bit of a hindrance, but you got to look where we live. This is what it is, so it's a trade-off.
Farther north, swimming is banned along much of the Jersey shore, although the red flags didn't stop determined surfers from hitting the waves.
I wanted to swim in it and I didn't really get to rinse myself off that much.
The International Space Station captured the view from above, a massive storm that's expected to get even bigger that skims the Atlantic, stealing some of the final days of summer. Rob Marciano, CBS News, Nags Head, North Carolina.
Time for some good news. A local church that got started in 2001 with a small congregation now has a following of more than 6,000. Casey Lund takes us there.
Yeah, this is the Inspire Church Waikele location. It's absolutely huge. This is kind of the welcome area. I want to take you inside the auditorium, though, and introduce you to some of my friends. We've got youth pastor Darian with us. We've got Becca Lagafuaina and Elijah, a husband and wife, youth ministers. I want to talk to you guys in a minute. First, we're talking about the now generation. Tell me a little bit about what you guys have built here at Inspire Church.
Yeah, the now generation. It's busting right now. We got our kids ministry, our youth ministry, our young adults ministry led by Becca and Elijah, 18 to 30, and we're just reaching, and people are coming, and it's absolutely amazing.
I want to talk a little bit about camps, too. I know that you guys have a lot going on in the summer, all year round, really, to celebrate our young people, lift them up, and bring them into the church.
Yeah, our camp season is always one of our favorite seasons. We have kids, junior high, high school. We reached over 840 students this summer. It was absolutely crazy. At our high school camp, we had 349 students come out just for that alone. So it was crazy, life-changing for our students. So.
I love that. I want to talk to Becca and Elijah. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about how you guys have grown the program and just in the space that we're here now. You had a lot of kids here recently.
Yeah, so Elijah and I, we took over the young adult ministry in 2023, and when we first took it over, there was probably about 20 to 30 young adults who were hungry for community. We met in a small room in the church, and then over the last 2 years, we have grown from 20 students all the way to almost 1,000 young adults, and we have just seen God just completely transform lives, and we've seen so many people come to Jesus, and it's been amazing.
I love that. And for, even parents that maybe are interested in getting their young people involved in the church or having a hard time getting them involved in anything, what can you say to them to outreach to them?
Oh, right now it's just an exciting time to be around people who can really grow in community over here. Like, I was one of those guys who came in arms crossed, didn't want to talk to anybody, and now some of my best friends I found here in this place where we're doing life together. It's not just a Sunday or a Tuesday thing, but like we're together all the time. Family barbecues, first birthdays, all those things. That's what I love about this church community.
Guys, thank you. And this is just such a beautiful church that you have in the Waikele location, 6 locations across Oahu, thousands of people that have joined Inspire Church, and not just because of the Sunday services like we've been talking about, but the outreach, the work that they do in the community. I want to thank them for being with us. InspireChurch.live is where you can go to learn more about all they have to offer. We'll send things back into the studio for now.